Steve here with Half Dozen Customs. We're back out here on this Jeep, and we left off last night with getting this thing fit, and we need to make something like so that fits on here. Now, this is one that I started with before we built any of this, so I'm gonna start over. And we're gonna make a new one, a new template, and get this transferred over to metal and start working on the metal. So just mark a little half circle there. Alright, I think we're closer than we were with the other one. Let's just get this transferred over to metal. And we'll start shaping the metal and getting that set, hopefully. Okay, those marks are where we need to put the bead roll. Alright, let's see if we can run this through. Excuse me. I don't know why I started talking and then decided to drink my coffee. Let's run this through here and put this bead in here, and then we'll go from there. Got that in there, it looks good. Looks pretty tricky. We got that kind of laid out. Okay, so now I'm gonna bend it over our bar here. I was supposed to drill a hole in there first. Okay, so where we're at right now, I made this guy up real quick, just so that we can start. I want to start rolling these edges around this. And we're gonna put a little cut right there. Always weld it up. So okay, got that rounded over pretty nice. I think I'm happy with that. Now, I think we're gonna end up rolling this top as well. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that quite yet. Maybe we'll add on to this piece. Glad I made that though. A little bigger than it needs to be. Maybe we can cut this in half and we can make two tools. And I didn't make, I didn't film it because it was nothing but a couple of scrap pieces that I just, I welded the two together. It was really nothing special that I did. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, so there's part of that steering column brace. So there's part of that steering column brace that we had to notch out, if you see there. we had to notch it out for it to fit. So I'm gonna notch that real quick. So that we can get a tighter fit. On the one side, like the passenger side of the steering column, I can't get all the way up against the dashboard piece that we made due to that piece sticking out. So remember, this is going to get a cover over this part, so you'll never see this cut we're putting in. Alright, so you can see our line on both sides of where we had our paper template. So I'm gonna cut that on both sides where our line is, so that we can get it closer to the dashboard. So, and that'll give us our little tip that we can run over as well. Let's do a little test bit. Alright, let's do a little cut here. Roll this edge over a little. About to die. What you think? I think it looks pretty good. We still got to make the cover for that little piece that sticks out over here. You know, we got to make a little cover for that guy. But I think we're good. I can weld that. We left off with making this piece to cover the steering column. yeah, I ended up remaking it. So once I had this sitting in there and I was looking at it, I realized that the body line was going the wrong way. So when we originally made this and we bent it into this shape, I bent it the wrong way. So I ended up remaking it, but I'm much happier that I remade it, not only because the body line was going the wrong way, but just a much cleaner look of it. I think it came out better the second time than it did the first time, so much happier with it. I ended up remaking that last night, and we got it tacked in place, and I went to remove that lower part of the dash, and no way. Was not happening. So I ended up, it's nutted and bolted. It's got a nut at each or a bolt at each corner, and it slips on, and it's got 4 nuts on the back. And then you remove that, and then you can remove the dashboard. So the problem that we were having was that because, you know, the steering column's like this, as you pulled this out, it needed to go up with the steering column, and you couldn't go up because of the bump out in the dash. There was just nothing I could do. I tried to trim as much out of everything that I could just to make it work, and I just couldn't make it happen. So we ended up having to bolt it, which I'm perfectly fine with. You can see that it's a nice, tight, clean fit. So the other side I need to do still a little work on. I took just a hair bit too much off, so it's not as tight of a gap over here. So we're just going to use the welder and just add a little bit more to it. Just a little bit right here at the top. The bottom is fine. You can see I made that little cover for the bump out there. So now we're going to work on, I'm going to take it out. We're going to bring it over here to the table, and we're going to work on getting that welded up. And then behind that cover, it has been cut out completely behind there. For one, I needed to cut it out a little bit more so that we could clear the bolts for the clamp that holds the steering column in. So we needed to cut it out more so that you could remove the dashboard and clear those bolts. So I did that, and we were clearing everything. But then trying to get that whole thing to come out as one piece, I ended up cutting it all out. So bolting that piece on puts the structure back in there, but I think I'm going to take another piece of metal and we're going to run just around that square to give it some extra strength and give it 2 pieces of metal to bolt to instead of just one. So we're going to do that. We need to drill some mounting holes in it so that it can be mounted instead of having vice grips holding it on. And then I think on the driver's side of the dash over here, down here, we need to put some kind of brace here, something to bolt the dashboard here too, so that we don't have any wiggle. That'll stop the wiggle from happening. So it did have this piece coming from the bottom of the dash down to this, the brake thing. I don't know if we're gonna, it's definitely not going back in the same spot that it was, if it goes back at all. So, but I'm kind of debating on whether or not we should run one from here over or not. I'm not thinking so at the moment. I'm thinking we're just gonna put a tab here with a bolt. We'll weld a tab to the inside of the truck, and then we'll have that'll bolt in there. And then I think the dashboard will be nice and sturdy. we'll be good to go. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Yeah, I'll be back when we got this thing on the table. It definitely added a lot of strength to that, just adding that piece in there. And it cleaned up the whole lot. Okay, so I had my buddy that owns the truck walked in. I was really hoping to have this in the truck when he came by, just to see if he even noticed it. But he came by and we had it on the table, and he's like, "What are you doing there? What is that?" So I ended up putting it in and showing him, and he tried to keep a straight face the whole time and say that he didn't like it, but he absolutely loved it. So he took some pictures of it and whatnot, said he was going to order some gauges and a headlight switch or whatnot. So back to getting this finished up. You know, we had done some welding. This little edge that was right here, that's what we were working on right before he stopped by, was just a little short. So we added a little weld along that edge and cleaned it up, and I think we're okay now. Last night when I was bolting this in, this bolt over here, I could not get it to thread in at all. And I just had a hard time getting it to thread on outside the truck. So we're gonna use the grinder a little bit and kind of clean these up a little bit, and hopefully, you know, they'll thread on a little easier. I didn't have a problem with the 3. Gonna have to see if we have some nylon nuts for this. If not, we'll have to put a drop of some thread locker on it, just so that these don't come out. have to use some Loctite. All right, let's see. So I'm using, actually we got lucky and there is actually existing holes in the bottom of the dashboard. See if we can bolt this in for the first time. You know what, before we bolt that guy in, it looks really good. I'm happy with it. But let's we need to make a little bracket that goes here that bolts this in. Alright, I think we'll use this and we'll make a little tab that welds to, yeah. Let's cut this up. Okay. Now we'll weld this up. You see, I listen very well. Oh, you can watch. So, anyways, I welded him up, and then I said, let's let him cool off as I picked him up. So, let's let him cool off. We'll be back. I don't like that bolt. Oh no. Seriously? It fell. Alright, for now, I found an Allen key. I'll have to find something different, because I think something with the little button head would be better. I know this bolt is super long. I'll find something different. There we go. That's much better. I can live with that. Go. Tighter. Yeah, baby. All right, that's it. It is bolted in. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the making of this. I think it came out awesome. And it is bolted in, ready for body work. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. I'm out. Oh.